What's up, Shred Sexies? Welcome back. Death to the fingers. Hope you're doing okay. Back from the fucking dead. I had to put my head down for 2.5 months and get this legal shit done and get the health situation under control. I got banned off Twitter for 30 days, so I was just like, making videos, yeah, it's important and stuff like that, but I could use this 30 days right now and effectively get a lot of work done, and I had to make a choice, and of course, the choice was get the legal stuff done and get the medical situation under control, and then we can worry about the videos later, although I did get a new camera. I'm looking more chubby than ever, although I'm doing pretty good on my walks. So, you know, I guess there's silver linings and stuff like that. But the reason for the video, I guess you could say, is that I was talking to somebody yesterday on the Weebs, and they were talking about, you know, how music seems to be in a real sort of like dark area right now. It's we're so over or besieged, I guess. I was going to say overrun, but I'm like more besieged. It makes sense. With just crisis after crisis after crisis after crisis, right? Like there's no stop to the madness. You ever notice that? They've got everybody in a pressure cooker. It's been like that since the COVID-19 days. So from 2020 until 2026, it's been like nothing but 24/7, you know, psyops and propaganda and all kinds of stuff. And it's just, it's so mentally draining, and that's just it. Like, these are big ticket items. Cost of living, putting gas in the car, getting to work, maybe losing your job, you know, whatever, these Lone Star ticks and antivirus. I'm just like, oh my God. Can we just take a break here, boys? Remember the old days where we would laugh at stupid memes and maybe once every 6 months there'd be a major level crisis? Yeah, those days are gone. Anyways, it's seriously affected the whole... Keep it down out there, you little fucks. It's seriously affecting the music industry, although you have to admit, I feel like my previous statements from a couple years ago that they've been purposefully trying to dismantle the music industry is starting to really bear fruit. I saw this new absolutely fucking mental thing from Spotify where you're like, oh, Drake, they're my favorite artist. Now you can marry up like his stylings with some AI platform and just create your own sort of facsimile of a Drake song. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that's not sounding good. Like, what? Oh, boy. Okay. So now pop's dead. Rap is non-existent. I mean, I haven't actually heard any rap people in a very long time. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is actually, there's some rap dude, Kendrick Lamar. I have no idea who this person is, but apparently he's a big deal or something. Okay, fair enough. He got absolutely ripped apart on the internet. This is going back like 2-3 weeks. You know, he's trying to whatever. I think he was wearing a crown of thorns, and, you know, down in the States, I'm pretty liberal and whatnot when it comes to sort of expression and whatnot, but I think that there's some sacred cows you just don't really attack, and that's one of them. And man, did he ever take a shit kicking. And that was the point here is that rap is basically, it's an afterthought. It's done. It's finally done. We survived the rap years from 1980 to 2020, 2023-ish. And now 2026, rap is basically no more or less relevant than, you know, rock and metal and whatnot. Although, of course, rock and metal is way more fertile. The issue there is metal's fine because metalheads will always like metal. We'll never have to worry about our scene dying or whatever else, because it's just a constant churn of creativity and sort of genre mixing and mashing and just, you know, people finding new ways to express themselves using aggression and whatever. Provocative sort of concepts. I was going to say lyrics, but concepts I mean, they're really starting taking to an extreme and whatnot, which is it's great. I mean, knock yourself out. But the pop stuff and everything else, it's just a massive void. And then the bridge that used to sort of go between metal and pop-ish, if you will, was like rock and hard rock. You know, you start off with like the AC/DCs and the Van Halens and, you know, and then all of a sudden it's Maiden and Priest, and then all of a sudden it's Metallica and Megadeth, and then next thing it's Carcass and Bolt Thrower or whatever it is, right? And then finally you go full out and you're into black metal and the most extreme of the extreme, Full of Hell and Pig Destroyer with Grind or Brutal Truth. So there's that conduit, if you will, has been completely obliterated. It's just no man's land, pocked with you know, the creators of hopeful careers, if you will, but they just couldn't get off the ground because there's just no market there. I mean, the whole bar scene is effectively collapsed. Now you're talking about sort of it taking another secondary and much more dangerous hit, which is people just turning their back on alcohol, which obviously is a good thing. Alcohol's bad. I had to quit smoking dope. It really sucked. It really, really, really sucked. And that's one of those things that I miss a lot, even though I know it's bad for me and I had to make a big choice there and be like, stop doing it. But that's just it. Alcohol is a million times worse. And now all of a sudden that was the fuel that basically kept the live music scene rolling. Not only did they get big endorsements and stuff and funding and whatnot from, you know, the alcohol companies and cigarettes and all the rest of it, but it was like, you know, it was kind of like baked into the cake. It's even though it's dumb, sure, it's like this sort of false sense of freedom or whatnot. Oh, I'm a rebel because I drink beer or whatever it is, or I smoke cigarettes. I don't fit in or whatever, or I like to party. I don't know. Those days are basically gone. The kids are like, oh no, I hit the gym 6 days a week, which is good, but I mean, I don't know. Feels like you're missing out on life a little bit there. You know what I mean? Like going to the gym, staying healthy and all the rest of that stuff is more something you should do when you hit your 30s. And that's just it. I see all these dudes getting ripped up and stuff like that, but I'm just like, the relationship scene in the world is just is worse than ever. Dating and marriage basically dead. What are you getting all jacked up for? Who you trying to impress? I mean, I get it if it's a mental thing and you want to do it for yourself. There's nothing but respect there and stuff. But a lot of these people, you know what I'm talking about. They're doing it because they think they're going to get laid. And this looks maxing shit. Have you seen this? This clavicular nonsense? Holy fuck, man. Dude, that guy's giving me major plant vibes. You know what I mean? He comes out of nowhere. All of a sudden, he's kind of like an annoying little puke. And then now all of a sudden, he's opening a bar or some shit. I don't know. Fuck off. But this looks maxing thing is just... To what extent, man? What? I know lots of ugly people. You know what they did? They picked up a fucking guitar and then they became a rock god. You know what I mean? Or they became incredibly skilled at sports. Now, instead of actually becoming skilled in some other way, it's like mangle your body in some weird way and take a million sort of questionable supplements or whatever else it is that we have no idea what the long-term sort of effects are going to be. The world we live in is just fucking mental and whatnot, but I'm getting off course here. I'm sorry. It's just wild to me how everything's become so brutally superficial. Sad, really, in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? It's like I was on ESP's website yesterday. I was like, I'm bored. Click on the artist models. There had to be 50 guitar players, maybe more, that had artist signature series. You know, for ESP, for LTD, the whole 9 yards. 50? And multiply that by, go to Ibanez. It's got to be at least 100. Yeah. Only the best of the best of the best should be able to get their own signature guitar. Not just because you play in some shit band that I've never heard before. It doesn't even mean that your band's music's not even that good. But Eddie Van Halen can have his own signature guitar because he's like the guitar player's guitar player. Randy Rhoads, another one. John Petrucci, another one. Or, Hetfield. Those guys can have, signature guitars and whatnot because they made a serious impact in music. And they've established themselves as mega level sort of, whatever, musicians in at least the rock and metal world and whatnot. Now it's just like, oh yeah, no, I play in some band. Oh sure, here's an endorsement. Of course, you can see what it is. It's like this really awful marketing ploy by the guitar companies or whatever else it is to sort of, get more money or whatever it is. How about you just drop the price of guitars down to something that's reasonable and just sell more of them? But I digress. You know what I mean? It's the rock scene is basically on life support. I mean, when you're having to drum up articles about Greta Van Fleet and stuff like that, I'm thinking maybe it's it's looking pretty grim, if you will. And there's a couple other bands that I saw that I laughed. I just laughed. I actually had to go get some medical tests done, which was way out in the West End. I haven't been out there in like 10 years more. And I was like, okay, I'll go up to the mall because I have to pick a few things up, and I'll most likely be able to get it there because I'm in the middle of like suburbia, so it's strip mall hell, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I head up there and I'm wandering around, and I was shocked. There's actually a record store in there. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, it was quite a few people in there too. So maybe it's making a comeback, so to speak. But the big poster in the front window was the Sheepdogs or something, which is a Canadian band from Toronto, I believe. And so I was like, okay, they got a big poster there. After I got back here, I was like typing it in. I'm like, let's have a listen to their music. I've never heard of this band before, but they got a giant poster in the front of the record store. That's a pass for me, boys. I mean, listen, I get it. Some people like the more lowbrow music, but that was just, that's below lowbrow stuff. That's just meaningless drivel. Yeah, I said it. Fuck you. So, I'm not really sure where things go from here. I mean, YouTube is dying a platform as I can get them out. YouTube is dying as a platform. I don't even know how long we have. I mean, I'm not getting nailed as much because I haven't been posting that much content, but I guarantee you within a year, get downloading those videos if you can, or fire up the old VLC, sorry, not VLC, OBS, and start recording them so you can have your own little library of your favorite ones, because they're going to come down for sure, absolutely. After AI scrapes all the big stuff, it'll come for the smaller channels, and you can see that happening right now. They wiped out a huge chunk of the people with millions of subs. Then they started going after the people with hundreds of thousands of subs. Then they're going to go after the people with tens of thousands of subs, and then we're last in line because we're basically insignificant as is. But having said that, we're still going to face the axe because YouTube hates the idea that content would be built by humans, which of course is the world's most idiotic sort of business decision. YouTube will basically collapse as a business model within 5 years of that kind of a thing, because you're just taking all the interesting stuff off. I mean, I don't watch AI content. I've listened to some AI music for sure. And the thing is it's just laughable. It's just fucking laughable. I think the scariest part about the revelation of AI music is the stat that I saw that 75% of people on Spotify couldn't tell the difference between an AI-generated artist and a real one. And I'm just like, you've got a real artist when they actually do something new and interesting. Not, oh, look, this is the latest iteration of this shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing most people don't understand with the AI music and just AI in general. Not only is it morally and ethically wrong that they just go on the internet and steal everybody else's content to basically build up their models, but the bigger one is it can't create anything new. It can only create what already exists and basically just kind of deconstructs it and mashes it up. It was funny. I was playing to some AI music a couple days ago, and they tried to sneak a diminished chord in there or a dominant chord in another area, and it just sounded so hilariously out of place. Like no setup, no nothing. It's just like all of a sudden diminished, and I'm just like, that's not how this works, man. I'm sorry. I'm not the master of diminished, but what you just did there sounds so fucking bad. Just like, don't do that again. Then like 2 tracks later, because they're only like 2 minutes apiece, it's like all of a sudden a really weird dominant 7/1. There's no resolution, no setup, no nothing. It's just like, oh, here's a pool of chords. Use those, or do some sort of chord progression based off scale degrees, right? So here's the 5th degree. Let's just throw D7 in there in this case. I'm just like, dude, fucking what? So the AI thing is definitely on borrowed time. You can already see the kids booing it. I think it's mostly because they're realizing that AI is just a euphemism for we want to offshore your job or give it away to somebody else who's going to work for cheaper. And, I'm not going to go down that road because I'm just going to get very, very angry because I think it's wrong. I was diametrically against globalization, and I am 100 million times more hardcore about people coming to North America and just taking jobs and stuff like that, that's supposed to go to the people that live in these countries that built them up, paid taxes and the whole 9 yards. I mean, that's just common sense. You get to take something away if you've contributed. You don't just get to show up here from the middle of nowhere and be like, oh, I'm here, guys, and then off to the races kind of deal. And they're not getting just the fast food restaurant stuff. I saw a whole bunch of engineers and stuff like that at Texas talking about it, and they were like making 120, 130,000 a year. I'm like, those could go to just American people. But we're being sold out. I guess most people are realizing that. It's all over the world too now. It's everywhere. I don't think you can go anywhere anymore and just be like, oh, here's a mostly homogenous society. There are little chunks of our countries and stuff like that are pretty remote and whatnot that are still like they used to be. But for the most part, we're being overrun, and that's just it. You know what I mean? We're diminishing as a population. We're being dumbed down massively because of AI and technology. And now all of a sudden we have like this whole new sort of issue popping up. Who has time to think about art and music anymore? And all the other artists are getting red pilled, right? Or is it blue pilled? I can't remember which one it is, but in the instance, they're like, not only is if I put music out on my own that somebody in another part of the world, some third world country type situation is going to just steal my stuff and then clone it using AI and then put it out as their own, maybe even copyright my channel. It's crazy. I've seen this a couple times now, but who am I releasing my music to? I don't think people from India are really into, Boston and the Black Crows or whatever it is. It's just, who do you even market your music to anymore? Like there's no live scene anymore. The bars all closed down once the general populace overall was like, we don't want to drink anymore. That was a mortal blow, if you will, to the bar scene and all the rest of it. And now all of a sudden you have this huge void, and they're just going out of businesses. They're just going out of businesses. Fuck. Yeah. They're going out of business, and of course, it's so bad that New York had to sue Ticketmaster or whatever it is and be like, okay, we got to break up the monopoly here because effectively $3,000 tickets to go see Taylor Swift in the front row is probably not great. You know what I mean? Just who goes to a front row seat to see Taylor Swift? Notice that psyop. Gone. Where's Taylor? Like 2 years ago, whatever it was, when Donald Trump was running for president and whatnot, you could not get away from Taylor Swift, man. There was clips of her everywhere. And now I haven't seen a clip of Taylor Swift. The last one I saw was about a week ago, and it was her walking around with her boyfriend or whatever, the football dude, which good for you guys. You know, go have some babies, just stop making music, whatever gets that job done, I'm okay with. But, you know, take your $1 billion and fuck off. We're good. Just please, no more music. Just no more. Please, no more. That's the thing. You got other ones coming up. The Sabrina Carpenter. Have you seen this idiot? Total man hater too. It's just like, dude, what the fuck is the matter with you? Like, look, I get it. It's cool and stuff like that to bash men or whatever it is in the 21st century. I understand. But it's so fucking lowbrow. You know what I mean? And then they get dressed up in like the most sexually provocative clothes. Who are you trying to appeal to? The people that you run down? Like, fucking make it make sense, boys. I'm sorry. I must be fucking stupid or something like that because I just don't understand. Oh, yeah, no. We wore this shit because, you know, the girls, they're really into it. Like, I saw one this morning, some other pop whore. What's her name? Olivia something. Rodrigo. That was it. Gets dressed up in this fucking absolutely mental outfit. Looks like a baby. Pizzagate, anybody? Anyways, then she starts pulling it up, right? And she's wearing like this matching sort of underwear thing. And then the next day or whatever it is, when people started to kind of trash her about it, rightly so, because it was fucking creepy as shit. She's like, oh, people are always trying to sexualize me. And I'm like, bro, did you actually watch the fucking video? Nobody's sexualizing you. You're acting like a fucking retard and sexualizing yourself. That's my point. It's just like everything is backwards, man. You know what I mean? Like people have been getting dressed up in sexy clothes and looking hot and shit like that for a long, long time. But we've taken it to like some sort of really, really sick extreme now. It's just, what are we doing? What are we doing? I guess in a lot of ways, this is the tail end. So I'll leave the video off here. Just keep your head down, keep practicing, keep being creative, play music. Don't just practice scales and arpeggios. Try to combine them together to create something musical and whatnot. And then, you know, try to develop your creative gifts. Because the crash is coming, and in a couple years from now, there'll be a whole generation of people when things start to calm down, and they will calm down. We're going to come to a boil, and things are going to pop off, and then it'll be really, really shitty for a year, and then everything will sort of like start to fix itself-ish, and then people will be like, I just want to listen to some great music, and they're going to be looking for people to do that. And it doesn't mean that you have to be the super shred guitarist. In fact, I would tell you to be more intelligent, be able to play the instrument, be good. I mean, be very fucking good. But that doesn't mean you always have to fucking go for, you know, like Mach 7 or whatever else it is. Sometimes a few notes can say just as much as 2,000. Important sort of distinction there. And hone your craft. Make good songs. Right? Don't just be like, oh, look, I'm really effective in the solo area. Instead, be like, I write really great music. Right? There's one guitar player, I don't even know what his name is actually. He plays in a band called XYZ. If you haven't listened to that, fantastic, from the 80s. Both albums are just absolutely shredding too. But he's a classic example. Absolutely blistering guitar player, but knows how to write a song like you wouldn't believe. Reb Beach is another one. Just, wow. The dude can write a fucking great song. And then all of a sudden melt your face with a great solo. That's what I'm talking about right there. Strive for that ideal. Keep your head down, because I'm telling you, your opportunity is going to come. Rock's making a bit of a comeback now in like the early infancy stages. Okay, they're trying to bring it back. It's going to take a few years for people to be like, decontaminate, if you will, from the pop thing and rap and all the rest of that, which is effectively dead at this point. So if you just stay locked in and you really apply yourself intelligently, don't just practice mindlessly. Try to do something. Sit down, write a song, write a verse, write a chorus, start making recordings of them, even if they're garbage recordings. Even if your song's not that good, talk them away. Rework those ideas. These are some of the most basic elements that rock musicians of, the highest order have used for decades. And we're losing all that, of course, because there's no next gen to sort of really help, form the next sort of vanguard, if you will, of rock and metal. But still, having said that, this sort of training tool is incredibly important. And I promise you, you'll get your opportunity if you've worked hard enough. And at the end of the day, remember, music is about having fun. No one can ever take that away from you. In my darkest hours, and believe you me, man, I looked into the abyss. I looked into the abyss, and I almost embraced it a couple times. And the only real friend I ever had was music. See you in the next one.